What, in essence, was this exhibition about? And tell us more about the research you conducted at Penryn.
Well, the exhibition was to really give us a chance to share with the public what the connection between Penryn Castle was and slavery. So in 2007, it was the bicentenary of the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade. And I thought, this is a fantastic hook that I can tell this story. I wanted the normal visitor, as they went around the National Trust property, to be able to go to the exhibition and see what the background, where the money came from to build this incredible castle. And so really that was the inspiration, was to make sure that this wealth of information that we had on these plantations was made available to the general public.
Marian, what did your research find out about Penryn's slavery connections?
Now, that's such a good question. Now, this could go on forever, because what we have with the information that we have on the Penryn documents, the Pennants saved their papers from their time in Jamaica, and they're all held in the archive of Bangor University. And there's such a wealth of information there. I was particularly interested in the papers that were connected to slavery. What we found out from these papers was just how big a connection there was. The Pennants owned about 6 plantations in Jamaica, and the records are there, the names of the plantations. But more than anything that we found so moving was the names of the enslaved people themselves. The records show us what they wore, what they ate, their daily work, how many jobs there were on the plantations. One of the largest plantations that they had was called Denby, and that showed that there was something like 19 different occupations within the plantation. They were small cities in their own right, which at one level shows the harshness of the regime, but it also shows the skills that were there within the body of the enslaved workers. Now, these letters that were going backwards and forwards are really very, very interesting. And he's writing to his agents, and he's saying, I do not wish the Negroes nor the cattle to be overworked. And he just puts them together, the stock, the livestock, and the enslaved workers. They were his chattels, his property, to do with as he wished. At the end of the exhibition, I put up a board with some strips of elastic, with some cards and pens, and people could write what they thought about the exhibition. Oh, I must admit, it blew me away. It brought tears to my eyes reading what these people. One girl, her name was Molly, and she was 10. And this is a lot of text in the exhibition, lots of pictures, but a lot of text as well. But this 10-year-old girl wrote, "It made me go quiet, it made me read." Oh. And I just, oh my gosh. And we had people coming over. One lady wrote that this exhibition needs to be done. My family is descended from the Pennants, the Pennants plantations. I believe that my ancestors were enslaved on the Pennant plantations. This exhibition needs to be here. This story needs to be told. It was just, and cards like that we actually left up because we thought that the public contribution was as important as the things that we had ourselves put up, so that visitors could see how other people were responding to it.
So very well explained there, Marian. 25 years and counting in this kind of research. I feel like this is such an education. Now, what was the link, Marian, between slavery and the local slate quarry?
That's a link that is rarely made, and I think it's a very important question to ask. Now, Penryn was a slate quarry, and it became, at the end of the 19th century, one of the largest slate quarries in the world. Now, its connection with slavery is that when the first Lord Penryn set it up, he used money from the sugar plantations to do it, when he basically he bought half of the old medieval Penrhyn estate and married in the heiress of the other half. And so he united what had been the old medieval estate at Penrhyn. It had been run down for a while, hadn't had much attention. What he did, he invested profits that he'd made from Jamaica, from these slave plantations, into improving farming, into improving housing, tenants' houses, and the slate quarry. It was his investment in the slate quarry that gave it that impetus, that developed it so quickly. And his connections with Liverpool meant that the slate that he was producing was going straight to Liverpool to be distributed all over the world.